Hello everyone, I'm Ronak Kanwar from Empower Energy, and we're connecting rural India to the modern economy. Now, rural India is one of the biggest opportunities in front of us today. It's getting richer day by day, with GDP set to double by 2030. Mobile phone penetration is growing 20% year on year, and this means 800 million rural consumers are aspiring to be a part of this modern economy. However, more than 300 million Indians are still being left behind today, forced to use outdated alternatives like kerosene for lighting, wood stoves for cooking, and improvised solutions for phone charging. Why is it that all of the technology exists that would change their lives, but they're still being left behind? Well, there are three key barriers to access. Firstly, products reaching these communities are simply of low quality and villagers don't trust them. And even if villagers are aware of high-quality solutions, they simply aren't available locally. And finally, these individuals cannot afford the upfront costs of these solutions. But at Empower Energy, we're building a last-mile distribution company to tackle exactly these barriers. We provide high-quality products to these consumers directly in their local village shop, without any upfront costs, using our leasing model. And shopkeepers are key to our success. They already have long-standing relationships with these individuals. And since they're already providing them with an informal source of credit, this means that they can help us to identify reliable consumers we can lease to. But how does this work? Starting with our first products of solar lamps and fans, we provide them to our shopkeepers, who then lease them to the end households. Our consumers pay our franchisees and receive an SMS code which unlocks their device for a week. And every time our consumers purchase another unlock token, our franchisees receive a commission and are incentivized to screen out bad credit risks. As well as that, we are collecting data and understanding our communities, which is what sets us apart. From each of these transactions, we are beginning to understand our rural communities, their spending patterns, their demographics, and more importantly, the other needs that we can serve using exactly this model. And since we are in direct contact with them through their mobile phones, we can market additional solutions like fans, TVs, smartphones. The possibilities are just endless. And our business model, we've already reached take-up rates of 60% in the first villages in which we're operating, just within 2 weeks. Compare that with the existing distribution model, whereby they only make 1 or 2 sales on the first visits. As well as that, since the payback period for each of our units is only 8 months, this means that we can rapidly grow our presence across rural India, but more importantly, build up an intimate understanding of these rural communities and their needs. As well as that, our business is having an impact in these communities. We've reduced kerosene consumption by 70%. Children are studying longer at night. And we've also doubled the income of some of the local entrepreneurs. And since starting in June last year with 150 customers, we have raised 160,000. And throughout the Elevate program, we have tried and tested more than 8 models. We have thousands of customer insights, and we are now scaling our standardized solution. In fact, this month we are launching our and we are looking to raise £500,000 by November, which will allow us to start reaching our vision of being in more than 10,000 villages by 2023. And we have a big vision, but we also have the team to execute on this. Gideon, having scaled social enterprises for the last 5 years, is in charge of operations. Praveen, having started companies in India, is in charge of our local team. And James is advising us on data and impact. But today, we would like you to join us on our journey as we transform rural India. We are seeking partnerships with businesses interested in our growing customer base. And as well as that, we are presenting you with the opportunity to invest in Empower today, which will one day become the largest last-mile distribution company in India. Thank you very much for listening.